Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are taking a look at the Discraft Nuke SS, an understable distance driver. So I have reviewed the Nuke SS in the past, so this is a revisit. However, I do have it now in Z and wanted to see how it compares to the ESP that I reviewed before. Additionally, I do want to see how the Nuke SS compares against other understable distance drivers in the Discraft lineup. When it comes to the profile, Z has a slight dome to very pop top to it. ESP is more flat with just maybe a little bit of dome, and also what really stands out, this is a fast disc. Look at that rim width, 2.5 centimeters. If you have small hands like me, you will have a tough time gripping this disc, and that is probably the one con that I can find about this disc is the fact that that rim is just so wide. Players with really small hands, like myself, we're going to have a tough time finding a comfortable and consistent grip. But enough about the grip. How does the Nuke SS fly? And this is a disc that, you know what, when thrown on a slight hyzer, it's just going to kind of hold that nice arcing hyzer the entire way, and then we'll have a nice forward penetrating finish. Then when thrown flat, in that mid-flight, it doesn't have the most torque resistance, so it is a disc that you can get to have a little bit of turn in that mid-flight, a nice flex to it, but then again, it's still going to have that nice forward finish. But where I feel the Nuke SS truly shines is when you put it on an anhyzer line and get it to hold these big sweeping turns. And again, with that sneaky late fade that it has, it's going to fight its way out. It's going to have a little bit of a hyzer finish. Now again, if you're a big arm, you probably don't even need to put it on an anhyzer to get that shot. You could probably throw it flat to almost hyzer flipping it. However, as a slower arm, you put it on that anhyzer line and you're going to get these great big sweeping flexes. Take advantage of the low resistance that the Nuke SS has in that mid-flight. Additionally, if you put some air underneath it when putting it on this kind of flex line, you can really then take advantage also of its amazing glide. The Nuke SS has tremendous amount of glide, so get it up in the air, let it hold this nice sweeping turn and fight out of it, and you're going to see that glide kick in, giving yourself a lot of great distance potential, even as a slower arm. Out on the course, I like to use the Nuke SS on those slightly uphill shots because for me, it's going to hold that hyzer line the entire way. For more flatter shots, I like to throw it a little bit powered down, but then throw it out a little wide. Just let that glide and that very late sneaky stability kick in. Also, when throwing on forehand, it's just so effortless for flex shots. I can throw it on a little hyzer to flat and always get that nice, beautiful flex and just trust that it's going to fight back. However, again, for faster arms, you're going to have to give it a lot of hyzer. So when it comes to the plastic types, the Nuke SS does come in its fair share. Again, unfortunately, I only have it in ESP and Z. Wish I was able to get my hands on a few of the others. The ESP, I do feel, is a little bit more overstable-ish, I guess, than the Z. At least it has more fade at the very end, and a little bit, just a tick more torque resistance out of the hand. But it's still a Nuke SS, it's still fairly understable. So now let's go ahead with the Lefty lines. We're going to take a look at the Z versus the ESP and a couple other of Discraft's distance drivers. You can see that both the Z and the ESP get decent amount of turn that mid-flight, have that hyzer back. ESP not nearly as much turn. Then versus like a Crank SS, the Crank SS got a lot more turn on it, has a very similar finish, but in the mid-flight is a bit more understable, and the Thrasher is the most understable of the whole group, as it will get you the most amount of turn and also the least amount of fade. That's why for us slower arms, I do generally like to recommend the Thrasher over, say, a Nuke SS. One, the rim is not nearly as wide as the Nuke SS, but also because I think it's a little bit easier to get a turn in the mid-flight, possibly easier to get distance out of it, easier to control. However, players, again, that's because I have a small hand. If I was able to actually grip the Nuke SS properly, I may have a different suggestion on that. So for you players who have those medium, larger hands, and you need something that's even maybe just a little bit more overstable than the Thrasher or a Crank SS, look at the Nuke SS. These things are fast. These things are understable, yet still controllable. They still have that nice forward finish. These are an amazing distance drivers for players of just about any skill level. Well, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found the video useful. Again, thank you to my sponsors, Discraft, Disdot, Riverside. Till next time, everyone, keep banging them chains.